Drake Bell couldn't hide his emotions after hearing the heartwarming news about his former Drake and Josh co-star, Josh Peck. Earlier this month, Josh welcomed his third child with his wife, Paige O'Brien Peck, marking yet another beautiful chapter in their growing family. On July 2nd, the couple took to Instagram to introduce the world to their newborn, sharing the first tender snapshots of the baby and revealing the child's name in a caption brimming with love. "Meyer Lane, we love you, we love you." It wasn't just fans who filled the comments with warm wishes. Drake Bell, who famously shared the screen with Josh for 3 years on the beloved Nickelodeon sitcom that shaped a generation, left a single but deeply telling comment, a teary-eyed emoji. Though simple, this small gesture spoke volumes, resonating deeply with fans who followed the pair's journey both on and off screen. For those who grew up watching Drake and Josh, the show represented more than just slapstick humor and teenage mischief. It showcased an authentic brotherly bond that felt real beyond the scripted lines. But reality, as it turned out, had its own twists. In 2017, when Josh married Paige O'Brien, many were shocked to learn that Drake wasn't invited to the wedding. The omission wasn't just tabloid fodder. It triggered a public falling out that Drake later described as having cut their friendship. For a while, it seemed that the duo fans once adored might remain permanently estranged. However, life, as it often does, offered them a second chance. Through private conversations, apologies, and perhaps a shared understanding of the complexities of growing up under the spotlight, Drake and Josh began to rebuild their bond. The healing wasn't instant, but it was real. In March 2025, the two finally reunited in the public eye on Josh's podcast, Good Guys, where they candidly reflected on their history, the misunderstandings, and what it meant to rediscover their friendship as adults. This emotional reunion carried even deeper significance because of what had surfaced publicly just weeks before. Drake had appeared in the searing documentary Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, where he bravely came forward as the unnamed child star who had been sexually abused by Brian Peck, the Nickelodeon dialogue coach, during his time on The Amanda Show. The revelation stunned fans, adding layers of painful context to Drake's story and his sometimes turbulent adult years. For Josh, it was an opportunity to show support, understanding, and compassion for his old friend, publicly and privately. Seeing Drake's quiet but heartfelt comment on the birth of Josh's third child felt like a powerful symbol of how far they've come. For fans, it served as a reminder that even the deepest cuts can sometimes heal, and that bonds forged in youth, even if battered by life's trials, can endure. The photos of baby Meyer Lane radiated pure joy, tiny fingers curled into gentle fists, eyes closed in serene sleep, cradled lovingly by parents whose smiles told 1,000 stories. Paige and Josh's willingness to share these intimate moments offered fans a glimpse into their happiness, and Drake's reaction showed a tenderness that words might have failed to capture. Over the years, both Drake and Josh have walked vastly different paths. Josh transitioned from child star to respected actor, author, and podcast host, known for his candid reflections on fame, body image struggles, and personal growth. Drake's journey was marked by creative pursuits in music and acting, but also legal troubles and public controversies that sometimes overshadowed his talent. Yet despite the detours, what remains is the undeniable fact that their lives were once profoundly intertwined, and perhaps always will be. In an age when celebrity friendships often feel curated and transactional, Drake and Josh's story resonates precisely because it's imperfect. It reminds us that real relationships, whether born in Hollywood or the halls of a regular high school, are rarely linear. They bend, they break, and sometimes, if the people involved are willing to face past hurts, they can mend stronger than before. As Meyer Lane begins life surrounded by love, Drake's quiet tribute feels like a small but poignant footnote, a single emoji that speaks louder than paragraphs. It's a nod to the history they share, the forgiveness they found, and the enduring impact of a friendship born under the bright lights of Nickelodeon, but tested and ultimately strengthened in the shadows beyond the camera's reach. In that one teary-eyed emoji, years of complicated history seem to condense into a moment of genuine human connection. A reminder that family isn't always defined by blood, but sometimes by the shared experience of growing up side by side, under the watchful eyes of millions and still being there for each other decades later.